What up? What up? Hump Day Ball Talk, and we're back at it again. We will not be having Ramsey tonight. He may pop in, but the man is grinding again, just being blue collared. I'm always joined by my man Noah and my boy Zach. My guy Zach is just battling through adversity right now. Zach, tell the people how you feel.
Noah poisoned me today. I just feel
I had to
awful.
for the pick.
It's so bad. Oh yeah, you're making a comeback.
But yeah, let's talk about these picks, man. Great weekend this past weekend, especially if you're an Alabama fan. Auburn fan, not so much, but there's still promise. There's still hope in my eyes. I'll probably not pick them that much the rest of the year because I put my neck on the line twice and I've gotten burned by it. But anyways, Noah, go ahead and tell them how you did on these picks.
I missed the LSU game, the Georgia game, and the Penn State game. Not great, but the none of the games that I lost were actually good. They were all pretty bad.
Zach, inform the people how it went.
It went poorly, fellas.
Yeah, honestly, Zach, this is your worst week by far. And you've been low key carrying.
I went like Georgia was. At least that one was tight. I felt
Yeah.
okay about it. Auburn was strictly a bias choice. Cannot do that again. And then Penn State was. I was blinded by the whiteout.
Hey, that was a tight game.
Yeah,
Can't do that.
it's Mickey Mouse. But anyways, boys, it was my best week. Needed it huge. The only game I missed happened to be the Auburn A&M game. Like I said, I think I'm gonna stop picking them because I've been getting burned. But we'll see how it goes. But fellas, talking about this weekend, let me pull up my notes and the games we can start with. Where is it at? Yeah, man. Let's go ahead and start with the Tennessee Mississippi State game. No, we got on this one. Like, what'd you see? How'd you like that the game played out?
I did not watch a whole lot of this one. I don't remember what else was on at this time, but it went about how I expected. I talked a lot about how being at Mississippi State was going to be hard, and it was. It was a tight game. But Joey just did more of what he always does. He threw for 335, and you're not going to. I mean, it's hard to lose a game when your quarterback is that productive. They cannot protect the ball, though. Neither team. Tennessee had 3 turnovers. Mississippi State had 2. Not a very clean game. There was a ton of penalties. There was 12 total with 131 yards being penalized. But, it was a solid win for Tennessee, in my opinion. I think Mississippi State's not a bad team.
Right. Zach, brother.
So, unfortunately, my pregame predictions from last week both did not pan out. First, I thought Tennessee would mollywop them, beat them by 4 tuds. They took it to OT, and then I also thought Brazil was going to have 2 tuds. He had 1, so I feel okay about that. But Mississippi State looks good. I like that running back a lot. Bothwell.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like I have a list when I say it. But he's nasty. He's got some Kerryon Johnson to him.
Yeah.
But yeah. Overtime games are tough to predict.
Right.
Even tougher to win, especially away. So good on Tennessee for that. It was a good game. I enjoyed watching that one.
Right. I feel like good teams find ways to win games, no matter how it looks. A win's a win. But yeah, you saw Tennessee go into Mississippi State this weekend and take this one in OT. It really opened my eyes to the SEC. I think after this past weekend, it showed me that the SEC, or really like the last 2 weeks, but in the SEC right now, that I feel like almost any team can beat any other team any given day of the week. And I just think that speaks to how stacked the SEC is. I know there's been a lot of talk the last 2 years because I think it's been, two Big Ten champions the last 2 years of saying the SEC's dead. Brother, it's not dead. It's alive and kicking. It's actually the most exciting football to ever watch. I think we get hosed in that national championship talk, especially with NIL and this expanded playoff, because SEC beats up on each other. I think it takes a lot out of them. But going back to this game, Tennessee played pretty decent. Kind of started off with some dumb errors, especially on special teams, but Joey Aguilar got it done, 24 for 40, 335 through the air, had 1 TUD, 2 INTs, and a 67.7 QBR. If you look at that rushing attack, you saw carries from a lot of different names. Deshaun Bishop, 11 carries, 72 yards with a TUD. Star Thomas, 10 carries, 33 yards. Aguilar ended up having 7 carries, 21 yards with a TUD. Peyton Lewis, 3 carries, 10 yards. And you saw that team total go to 32 carries, 131 total yards, and 2 rushing TDs. You go and look at receiving. I mean, those guys had a day. Mike Matthews, 6 receptions, 118 yards. Braswell, 105 yards, 6 receptions, a TUD. I mean, this game was a lot of action, and I think if Tennessee didn't have some of those mistakes early, I think Mayo would have solved the beat down in Starkville. But I think it started with a muff punt, I think, or it may have been on a kickoff.
Yeah,
I
remember that.
It really gave Mississippi State a lot of energy. I think it gave them a lot of momentum. They clawed their way through it. But late, though, that hit on the quarterback right after the fake punt, the successful fake punt for the first down. Immediately the next play, dude doesn't pick up backside, absolutely destroys him, fumble, scoop, score. Tennessee carries that momentum and take it into OT, and then they just get it done. As for looking for Mississippi State, I mean, Blake Shapen, not a bad day. 18 for 29, 180 yards, 1 TD, 1 INT. You saw their rushing attack look a little different, a little top heavy. Bothwell, 23 carries, 134 yards, as Zach alluded to, 2 TDs. His longest was 20 yards. You saw Booth get in there, 17 carries, 58 yards, 1 TD. Sam West, 1 carry, 15 yards. Thanks for playing. Camario Taylor, 3 carries, 10 yards. And then your total rushers for the Mississippi State side were 57 carries, almost 200 yards, 3 rushing yards. As for turnovers, we kind of talked about that late. Zachary Tillman interception late in the 4th for MSU, and then Tennessee scored on a defensive play with that fumble return. It kind of gave them momentum, I feel like, going into half. But yeah, that game I really wasn't watching much. And we can get into this one next. This Texas A&M Auburn game.
Do we have to?
What do you have on this one? Because me and Zach both rode with the Tigers on this one.
It went exactly how I thought it would. I mean, I thought it'd be a little bit of a stronger win for Texas A&M, just because Auburn's been so consistent, and you have one of the, like, in my opinion, one of the most dominant home field advantages in the college football. But, you saw more of the same out of Auburn. Jackson Arnold couldn't get shit done through the air. He couldn't get the ball out of his hands just because I don't know, I think he super glued it to his hands. He just, would not drop it. Le'Veon Moss did really well. Reed did really well. But if you look at the total yards, it's 414 by A&M to 177 by Auburn.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Auburn's defense is so outstandingly good that, I mean, their offense all basically stayed back at the hotel. I mean, it really did. They really did. Over 4 quarters, you're putting up 177. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Power 5. So, I mean, terrible penalties. There's 23 penalties in this game. Um, over 150 yards easily. But I was watching it. A&M defense got hits and pressures when they needed to, really disrupted the pass game. But really, the takeaway for me is Auburn's offense is absolutely god awful, and their defense is potentially one of the best in the nation.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I've got like two things I wanted to get off before, just so I don't forget. In the first half, there was not a run by a running back for the Auburn offense. Their running backs did not have a carry in the first half, which is epic. Second, their average on third down, their average distance was like 11 and a half yards. How? You could spike the ball first down and second down and be closer than if you just did what they did, which is outstanding. The defense is elite. They're fantastic. They did get it. I want to say they had 2 or 3 touchdowns called back on penalties. A&M did.
Yep.
So it kind of helped the defense out a little bit, but they weren't getting much help otherwise.
Yeah.
So many 3-and-outs. Yeah, it's just getting doubled up yardage wise. Marcel Reed, he wasn't special to me.
No, I'm looking at the stat line. It definitely wasn't special.
It wasn't.
I think against
Concepcion,
defense as good as Auburn's, 207 through the air is pretty good. I mean, that's just me, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right. Yeah, it's fine. It won the game. Concepcion seemed to be everywhere. Le'Veon Moss ripped off chunk after chunk. It seemed like. And for the offense, more of the same. They stink. Jackson Arnold holds the ball too long. And they couldn't get Cam Coleman going on sideline balls. I don't know why. Just throw it up. I like A&M's DBs. That Des Ricks guy, he's good.
Yeah, he played a great game.
Yeah, he did. He was really good. And they had a bracket over Cam most of the game, but obviously you're not moving the ball otherwise. Just throw it into double coverage, honestly. It's the only way they're going to move the ball forward. It was awesome. I had a horrible time watching this game. Y'all take it away.
Yes, this one was kind of a snooze fest, but the defensive side of the ball for both teams was awesome to watch. I mean, let's just go over this real quick. Texas A&M's defense had 5 sacks, 7 tackles for a loss. That's great. You hold Auburn 0 for 13 on third down. That's great. I mean, you still had kind of a lot of penalties, but yeah, you're just holding Auburn to 176 total yards. And what was it? What's that? I heard it on TV. Was it they only had 2 yards of offense in the fourth quarter?
I believe so, yes. Might have been 1. It might have been 1 yard.
Yeah, I mean, there's no need to kick a dead horse here when you look at like Arnold's stats and then skill player stats. But I will allude to this, and we've said this for the last 2 to 3 weeks, that O-line's a problem. And I get Jackson Arnold doesn't help him out, and where'd Noah go? Noah just disappeared. He'll join back though.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, that O-line, again, played terrible. Was it Chaplin or whatever his name is?
Yeah, the right tackle.
Getting bodied. They're putting him in a body bag. There's been rumblings on Twitter that maybe to some health issues or potential coaching changes that Hugh Freeze may not be on the sideline for the game. I don't know how much validity there is to that, but it's just rumors on the street.
Yeah.
I'm telling you though, this team, I think, yes, does Arnold hold the ball too long to second guess reads? Yes, I get that. But I think if you had a better O line, it would look a lot better. I mean, hell, you went toe to toe with two of the best teams in the country, and defensively played great. If I'm the DC at Auburn, I'm Hugh Freeze. I'm gonna go into like this film session, especially on Sunday, if they do that, or even on Monday. You got to feel great about the defense. I mean, you're telling me you're going to hold A&M to 16 points at their house? I like my odds there if my offense is just okay. I don't even need it to be great. I just need it to be okay. But
They're not.
no, they're really struggling. Texas A&M, of course, Slavion Moss, huge day. He racked up 139 rushing yards, really set the tone. Randy Bond accounted for 3 field goals, which ended up being huge in the game. And then Torin York had 7 tackles and 3 tackles for a loss, plus a QB pressure. And again, it always seems like when Auburn's on this last drive, I don't know why, defenses seem to get to Arnold with a 3-man rush, which is crazy.
He's freaking out.
That should not happen.
No.
It's
bad. It's bad all around.
Yeah, you saw a potential momentum swing, or at least I thought, when you got the tip pass interception, and he took it all the way, to the 3 or 4 yard line?
Yeah, I think those were their offensive yards.
So, but yeah, I'll probably not be picking Auburn much the rest of the way out until they figure out this O-line. But Sam Pittman just got fired. I think you should hire him as O-line coach. That's just me. And he likes
right.
cold beer.
Golly, they don't deserve none.
But
we'll see, though.
But getting to this next game, this Ole Miss LSU game, thank God I kept picking against LSU. It finally paid off. But what did you see in this one? What are some takeaways in this
one? Did not go how I expected it. I mean, I know that LSU has had offensive struggles all year, but I mean, I really thought their defense would carry them through this game because, I mean, to be honest, Ole Miss doesn't really have one either.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, it appears that LSU's offensive struggles will greatly outweigh that when you have Trinidad Chambliss throwing the ball. Brother threw for 314 yards against this LSU defense. And then on the other side, Nussmeier, who, again, was a Heisman candidate coming into this season, threw for 197. I didn't do my due diligence before this podcast and get like their team stats or anything, as far as like defense rank and everything. But I don't think Ole Miss has a very good defense. I don't. And to only throw for 197 in such a tight game when you've thrown the ball for 34 times.
Yeah.
I don't think that's very impressive. And then even on the ground, they couldn't get anything going at all. Their leading rusher has 22 yards. Like, how is he your leading rusher? Anyway. LSU had 254 total. Ole Miss had 480. Penalties and turnovers kept this game closer than it should have been, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Ole Miss had 2, and then they had 14 penalties for 109 yards. So pretty sloppy play, in my opinion. But they did convert third down 50% of the time, as opposed to LSU converting like 19% of the time.
Right.
That's ridiculous. But Ole Miss's offense under Chambliss looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks damn good.
Yeah, they do. So I agree with everything Noah said. So I only really have one thing to add, and it's that I think Aaron Anderson going down early in the game kind of allowed Ole Miss to stack the box and go man on the outside a lot more. and they could bracket that other in names escaping me right now, but they could do that. So I think that's kind of what stifled the LSU offense in that one. Aaron Anderson, huge part of that offense. So I'll be interested to see. Or I haven't heard anything else about it. I don't know if he's going to be out multiple weeks, but yeah, that was a big deal or a big loss for them.
Yeah. Yeah, this one, Ole Miss being 24, LSU 19. You see Ole Miss improve to 5-0. You see LSU finally drop a game and kind of show that they're not as good as people have made them out to be. As Noah said earlier, I mean, you got outgained 480 to 254, which is pure domination. But I'd like to talk about the play call on the clutch 4 and 3. Or, I mean, what a call!
That was awesome.
That was great.
That dude was butt naked on the sideline.
I think honestly that just kind of sealed it and took every hope that LSU had in this one. We saw, which I don't know if this was intentional, but we all saw the Landry Kiffin and Whitweek's post, and then you heard Kiffin say, "Better take the over." And the post-game quote was great, too. He was looking for Witt, see if the over hit. And then he actually talked about this earlier this week. I think it may have been this morning. But he said he wanted to see how bad Witt Weeks really wanted it and pushed the tempo, and said that may have made him sick, as we saw in the game when they panned to Witt Weeks' family back to Witt, and he is profusely vomiting in the game, which was crazy. But yeah. Trinidad Chambers, 314 passing yards, one passing tud. I mean, I thought he played exceptionally well. I like him a lot better than Austin Simmons. I think it just fits well in the offense. I think those guys play a little different around him. I think they really like playing for Chambers. But let's go. Kylan Lacey had a 15-yard touchdown run, which was huge. You had a former LSU running back, Logan Diggs, get a 6-yard score for Ole Miss, kind of getting back at his old team. You look at LSU's offense, only 254. They really couldn't get much going. LSU scored a late touchdown. Harlan Berry, of course, to cut the margin, but they failed in the 2-point conversion. They also got an interception off Nussmeier's pass in the first half. Again, 34 attempts, and we're only getting 197 yards against the Ole Miss defense that's really, in my eyes, just a little bit above average. I don't think they're great. I don't think they're elite, but I think it's just a decent defense. But, yeah, man, fourth down gut checks. LSU couldn't answer. Comeback fell short, and that's what gets you a loss. That's what gets you a loss.
Not even the best fourth down call of the day, but that one was good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed seeing it. I was watching that game heavily. But this next game, fellas, let's go, man. I knew I had faith. I knew I trusted what I saw on tape. Alabama takes it 24-21 in Athens when they played the same TikTok sound for 3 hours straight. It felt like terrible. They did back off the blackout post, which is worked out best for them. They lost by 3 scores instead of 1. But no, what you see in this one? This Alabama-Georgia game. As an Alabama fan, who I would note, by the way, bet to Georgia to win.
Actually, I bet $200 on Alabama to win. I picked Georgia because all of my picks have been cursed when it's come to these tight games. So, I did the logical thing, and I picked the team I wanted to lose. Great game by Ty Simpson. He's showing out to be a Heisman candidate, in my opinion. He is one of the, I said this to some of my coworkers. I think that this is like a Mac Jones-esque season. the way that he waited 3 years like Mac did, and then you come out and Mac was, I think, one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the nation for his year.
Yeah, runner up to the Heisman.
Yeah, he set. I think he. Don't quote me on this. I'm not big on records, but I think he set a record at UA for completion percentage over passes. I don't know. I think either way he did great, and it's reminded me a lot of that. He was able to use his legs some to escape some pressures. Kirby talked about that a lot after the game because they did have free runners dropping through the line, but he didn't get sacked too often.
I don't think he took a sack.
Yeah, he did. He did take one sack. They have it listed as. I don't know if that's accurate, but
Oh, no, I don't know. Mine says 0.
Mine says 1.
Huh? Ain't that something? Are you on ESPN?
Yeah.
That's weird.
It was,
they dispute it. If he's a yard, they micromanage. But let's just say he got dropped. He got dropped once.
Yeah.
But what I did not like out of Bama is the same shit I didn't like out of them during the FSU game. We got a great pass defense. Stockton only threw for 130. We could not stop the run. And, obviously we won. It's great, whatever. But they had such efficient runs on us at, key moments. And it's terrifying when you, go into it, deeper into the season, you play, more run-heavy teams. Because, that's just not a very hopeful thing in my eyes. I think they got to get better on run defense. But their pass defense is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you'd told me that Bama won't score in the second half, I'd have thought y'all lost by 14. Just nuts. It kind of played right into Alabama's hands though, because you run the ball, it's going to take longer. They didn't have enough time. That Bowens dude, he beat the ass though.
Yeah.
That dude is tough. What happened to Nate Frazier? Do y'all know?
I don't.
I was looking. I could have sworn I thought he was RB1, but he only had 4 or 5 carries, something like that.
I think he may have sustained an injury, and I think in one of those he stayed on the bike for a long time. But after that, I think he's kind of dinged up a touch.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess didn't need to go back to him either. Bowen was in a flow state. Dude's ripping 10 a carry. It's so tough. But this one was fun too. I'll keep it short though. Ryan Williams dropped a touchdown. So did a Georgia guy. So it evens out. They can't run the ball very well. It doesn't feel like.
Who
Which is
else?
strange to me. Yeah, for an Alabama team. But they can throw the ball. That Horton dude, tough. Jeremy. I'd come around to Jeremy. Tough. Ryan Williams might be the third best receiver on the team. No, he's second. He's better than Horton, but Jeremy tough.
Yeah, Jeremy's very good.
Jan Miller got worked a ton coming back from injury. I thought he'd be on a snap count. He didn't look great though. Might be a product of defense more than anything.
True. But
yeah, third down in the first half was, what is it, 9 for 9 or something?
Yeah, unbelievable.
Perfect. Yeah, that was good. Gunnar Stockton looked like he was quaking in his boots half the time. But yeah, it was kind of a perfect storm for Alabama. Jumped out to an early lead, held on to it by containing the pass a good bit. It's a good win. It's impressive. Yeah. And that fourth down call, oh my God, that was fire.
Oh, by Alabama?
Yeah, to ice it. Dude, that was...
It was third and four.
Oh, I thought it was fourth. Still didn't get me as fired up as watching Caden Proctor pump the rock.
He needs the Heisman.
Dude, nothing gets me going like seeing a big fella tote the pill. Let him eat. I want to see more.
But yes, I did feel like this game played exactly in Alabama's favor when it came to how Georgia lined up and how their offense stacked up and how kind of weak their secondary was this year. But I'm not going to say weak. I mean, it's still a great secondary, but not to the level of containing guys like Horton, Bernard. I mean, you saw a freshman get in there, Latia Brooks, have some big time plays. Ryan came up big on some third downs. I know he had the drop and he's battling the drops, but we'll talk about that here in a second. But you saw a 33 win streak get snapped. That was awesome. Attendance was at 93,000. Awesome. Then you go and look at Alabama. And you're like, man, this is going to be the real first test since Florida State to see if this team's really got. They answered the bell. Rang it. Again, 9 for 9 in the first half on third down. That's unbelievable. I think they finished 13 for 19, which is the most third downs converted against Georgia in the last, I think, 30-something years, maybe 35 years.
Jesus.
Which is insane. Ty Simpson played great, man. Did everything he needed to do. I know we can sit here and say, there wasn't a run game, this, that, and the other. We didn't score in the second half. I get that, but I think he did his job and nothing more than his job, and he just performed it well. Didn't do too much. Did exactly what he needed to do. I thought it was great. I really thought it was great to see the big man catch the rock out on the outside.
Oh my gosh.
That was awesome.
Yes, sir.
I mean, what a play call by Ryan Grove to get the big man involved. You saw a lot of talk lately was on the play we saw the fourth down that Georgia went for. My opinion is I agreed with the call that Kirby went with because I was listening to Lane Kiffin talk about this, and there were two different philosophies. If you're going to go for it there and you say you slow it down, the first philosophy is slowing it down, making sure you get the right play call and what you want with the personnel on the field that you want. You can do that. That's great. But now you give Alabama more time to get exactly what they want on defense coming through. And then the second philosophy is exactly what Georgia did. They went hurry up. I feel like they may have had the wrong running back personnel on the field during the play. But when you hurry up like that, you're banking to catch this defense off guard. And I'm going to be honest, if they pick up that first down and they end up getting a touchdown on that drive, maybe looking at a different story in a different ballgame. But I don't really agree with the kicking a field goal there, take the points. I feel like the way that game was going, you don't want to see this game go to overtime, so let's win it right here. So those are just two different philosophies. You saw Alabama total yards 397 to Georgia's 355. Rushing, you saw 38 carries, split a couple guys, 117 yards for Alabama, and 225 on 32 carries for Georgia. I think it's big for Alabama going forward to figure out how to stop that. I think you did just enough, but it could always get better. Ty Simpson, 280 through the air. 25 of 39, 2 tuds, no interceptions. He's still yet to throw an interception. He does a great job protecting the football. Stockton, 130 yards, 13 for 21 tud, no interceptions. Again, we talk about third downs. Georgia was only 2 of 8. And then you look at penalties. Alabama had 4 penalties for 16 yards to Georgia's 6 for 66 yards. And I would like to note, boys, this is the first game Alabama has been less penalized under the board than the team they are playing. Also, I'd like to note big contributions from the O-line. They only had 1 false start all game. As loud as that stadium was, it's unbelievable because usually when they play on the road, especially if it's a snooze fest, they still find a way to get false starts. I like to see that everybody was on the page. Georgia only had 1 fumble, which did end up, I think, in 3 points. And again, Bray Hubbard, we dogged him. We dogged him week 1, and he is again answering the bell. What else I need to note on this one? I think Georgia had some dumb penalties. I thought the targeting call with Mickey Mouse on Alabama. I mean, can we stop putting everything in slow motion? Everything looks like a targeting call in slow motion. It looks terrible. Let's quit doing that. You saw Georgia probably drop it would have been a go-ahead touchdown. It was still 24-21 at that point. But he needs to get back on the judge machine with Ryan Williams. Just hit him up. You can find him on Twitch and Instagram. But I really thought that you saw Alabama capitalize on mistakes here, which Georgia didn't have many. But I think mistakes that they did have, Alabama did a great job of capitalizing on those. And then enough's not getting talked about that Alabama defense in the second half. I mean, that 4th and 1 play, we talked about the play call, but LT Overton able to shed a block, blow up a guy, and then make a miraculous ankle tackle. Thank God he could not keep his balance because that side of the field was wide open. May have been a tud, I ain't going to lie.
Probably.
Yeah. You saw efficiency from Alabama again. You saw game control with the clock. Alabama felt like they held the ball a lot, sustained drives, and then again back to that 3rd and 4 call to ice it. Beautiful play call, beautiful. Because on that play call, you leave the linebacker on an island. He has to choose on this motion if he's going to go left with the run or he's going to go right with the pass. And I feel like you put a linebacker in a tough spot because the only way you really defend that in my eyes, if you're that guy left on an island, you have to guess right. I don't care how much film you do. I don't think – because I think if you go with the pass and it was the run, it's still a first down. And you saw if he went with the run and it turned out for him being wide open and flat. First down. Iced it. Huge. Needed it, especially after the week I had, which was great to see. Us bounce back. That's great for my morale and all the Alabama fans. Even Ramsey was turned up. We were at Avondale, and Ramsey was having a great time cheering for the Tide. I would like to note for Auburn fans coming up, I know you got a bye week. I know you got Georgia at home. I think it's a night game. I'm almost positive it is. It could have happened because Georgia in bounce back games after a loss. I know they play Kentucky this week. That's belt to ass. But I'm talking against Auburn, too. Good luck because that team has been different. But that was all the games we covered. Also, we did not cover this game, but it actually turned out to be a great game when I got home Friday night was the FSU-Virginia game. I'll talk more about that when I pick FSU Miami, but what an upset. I'm glad Squirrel White is still with us because he got trounced by about 7,000 people immediately. But let's move on to these games that are coming up this weekend. Kind of a light weekend. There's not really much going on, but I'd say there's probably 2 big games for sure that are very pivotal in this rankings coming up. But let's jump into it. We got Texas at the Swamp, Florida. Noah, where are you going with this one before we even get started?
I don't like either of these teams. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't like Arch Manning.
Yes.
I don't like Arch Manning. I definitely don't like DJ Laggay or whatever his name is. But I mean, it's just a really, really weird place. You know that the pressure's on Napier.
My boy lagging.
He froze for show.
There you are. You're back. You froze out for a second.
It's a pressure game for Napier. He keeps losing. He's out. I think the pressure's on him for sure. I don't think Arch is consistent. But, Florida's defense isn't terrible. They're well ranked in a lot of aspects. No, it's just a hard pick for me. I think being at the Swamp helps. But then you go to Florida's offense, and even though, like, head to head, Florida's defense is much better than Texas' defense. Florida's offense, or at least by stat, Florida's offense is just so god awful that it doesn't matter. So I think I'm going to have to take Texas.
All right, I'll put you down.
Yeah, I agree. I think this one might be these boys might be having an ass off.
It's a twerk at the Swamp.
No, they're just both so bad. I do remember Florida's defense putting their heart and soul into keeping him in that Miami game. Felt bad for those fellas, but I think it's going to be more of the same. Florida might not convert a third down again. I can't believe that Napier is still around. He needs to go. Take Hugh Freeze. Y'all have fun. Good luck. Yeah, give me Texas. This game might end up being like 21-13.
Well, this game is in the Swamp. They do have cool jerseys in the Swamp. Crowd's loud. Play a great song in the third and fourth quarter. DJ Lagway is buns. He was in a boot last week. They did have a bye week. I don't think they played anybody this past weekend.
I don't think so.
Billy Napes on the hot seat. Texas is coming in and Arch is bun. But I don't think he's as buns as Lagway. I would like to note, though, for the Florida Gators, you get Dallas Wilson back, which, if y'all know anything about this kid, he's a beast. Comes back from injury. This is his first game back at wide receiver. I think he makes a big impact for Florida. And I think he gets that place jumping. And I think they have some success here. But I don't think it's enough success. I got Texas in this one. And I think it's going to be a low-scoring affair. I think Florida's defense keeps this game kind of tight. And I think we literally just see a battle of snooze fest at QB. Arch has yet to show me anything that shows that he's decent at football besides posting an Instagram post about trucking one linebacker against UTEP. Come on, or Sam Houston. Come on, my boy.
Yeah.
But for Florida, you're going to need an O-line to hold up, open up some big lanes for Ball and others. Texas edge rushers get inside that interior line and create pressure for Lagway. I think you see him collapse. I think you see more INTs here, some takeaways. Florida's really got to get this ball going on the ground to at least help out Lagway as much as you can. Brother, he needs all the help he can get. But as for looking for Texas, I think you have to open it up through the air. I think that pass attack is major strength if Manning can get it going. Florida secondary, which has been decent, but has been lacking in depth concerns, injuries, other sorts of things. I think we're really going to see that come into play. Florida's DB, like Jordan Castell, will have to make plays and not get overpowered in coverage, which we have tend to see from him. And if Texas can just convert third downs, I think this is a controllable game. I think this may be kind of tight, like a lot like you said, Zach, that 21-13. But I think in the matter of which Texas controls the game, the scoreboard makes it look closer than it is, and I think Texas just kind of dominates this one. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I'm taking Texas in this one, and I think the snooze fest for Florida continues. I think Billy Napier, after this year's done, and I don't think this game is going to help his case. But I digress.
I've been wrong before.
Get into this next game. Kind of feeling a trap game here, gentlemen. Mississippi State at Texas A&M. Noah, is to you, my boy.
I think it's gonna be another hard-fought game for Mississippi State.
Ruh-roh.
I don't think that they got enough going on to win this game away. I've talked a lot about Texas A&M being at home versus Auburn. I think it's going to be the same thing. I think Texas A&M is one of the best teams in the SEC at the moment. Defensively, they're looking solid. Offensively, they're looking solid. So I think it's just going to continue. I think they're going to have a more convincing win against Mississippi State than they did Auburn.
I don't know. I think Mississippi State's kind of like the antithesis of Auburn. Great offense, horrible defense. But yeah, we haven't seen Mississippi State go on the road since they went on the road to play Southern Miss, which is awesome. Normally, SEC school pay the little school to come play at home. They
saving
That's
that
hilarious to me.
money. You need some help.
Cal College for show. But I mean, I got A&M for sure. I think the only question in this one's how much they win by, if they're covering 14.5 or not. I think it's right there. I'm thinking 41, 28, somewhere in there.
Jesus.
High scoring.
Yes, this game is in Aggieland. Mississippi State played Tennessee close, but needed some help. And it didn't help enough. I got A&M in this one. I think Marcel Reed controls this game. I think Le'Veon Moss has a big game this game.
Yeah.
I think their old teammate at Mississippi State, Mario Craver, big game. Conception, not as big as Craver, but still has a big impact in this game. I just really see Texas A&M handling business here. I don't think it's a trap. I don't think they fall into the trap. I think this is a potential trap game, but I think they stay out of the rat trap and keep it going, and I think they roll to 5-0. Let's see some stats on this one. Yeah, I mean, A&M coming off that hard win against Auburn, 16-10. You keep that going. The only thing I'd like to see Texas A&M do is to kind of slow down on those penalties, because I think they had 13 penalties against Auburn for a lot of yards. And then A&M is favored by 13.5 in this game at the time I took these notes. So I think they get it done. I think Mississippi State's offense does have a decent showing in the box score. But again, I think that defense is very lacking. If we look at some key matchups, I don't think Mississippi State really matches up with anybody on Texas A&M's offense. I think Mississippi State in this one, again, you're going to need some help with some dumb penalties, dumb turnovers. I feel like you're going to need a lot going your way. But, yeah, it's really about it on this one. And now, if Mississippi State wants to win, you have to get up early and force some momentum. You have to force a couple turnovers and make some big plays off those. Again, establish a run, avoid penalties. You're going to have to challenge the slot, attack A&M's coverage in the slot, tight end areas where his Chapel might be tested. And again, stay on schedule. Can you convert third and shorts and keep the game going? But I don't really see that happening. So I do have A&M in this one. And for our next game, they lost last week to a team they shouldn't have lost to. On the road, we got Florida State in Miami. Florida State versus Miami in Florida State. I think this is a night game. Noah, what you got on this one? Who you going with?
I don't like this game. When I made my prediction earlier today at Clinicals, I was under the impression they were playing in Hard Rock Stadium. That would have really sealed the deal for me. But it's not. It's at fucking Doak Campbell, or the hell that is. Dump Campbell, whatever. I mean, I just don't like this game at all. I think Miami does win just because, I mean, I really hate Florida State. I do. I hate them. But I think it's going to be a really close game. I could very well be wrong. But Miami's defense has looked amazing this year. Amazing. They're the 8th best rushing defense in the nation. And that accounts for a ton of FSU's production. A ton. They are the second highest rush. Like, they produce the second highest rush yards per game in the NCAA. And so, I think it's going to be a good matchup for Miami in that aspect. They haven't allowed a lot of rush yards per game. But I think FSU is going to really fight hard at home after a tough loss on the road. But it's not going to be enough. I think Miami pulls this out.
All right, Noah with Miami.
Yeah, everything. My heart's telling me to take FSU, and I kind of like FSU, so I got to. I like Castellanos, and I despise Carson Beck. I still do. That dude, he looks like a Ninja Turtle, which he can't help, but it's an unsettling appearance that I don't enjoy. I hope that FSU beats those dudes by 20. That would be the favorite thing. That would be the best thing I could see all weekend. FSU 40-24 type of game. They're just running all over them. Expose them frauds. Get after it.
No, you gave me some great stats earlier about the rush defense. All great things. But this stadium holds right around 90,000, a little bit more, maybe a touch less. Who really gives a shit? But the place is going to be rocking. The Seminoles going to charge out, plant the spear. They're going to spot the ball. And FSU's about to go belt to ass on these dudes. I don't think Miami has – yes, they have a great rush defense, but I don't think it's going to be – they're used to the aspect of the running back getting the ball. I don't think they're ready for this mobile quarterback and these Gus Malzahn play calls. Right now we have Miami, at the time I took these notes, at 4.5-point favorite. Eyewash, in my opinion. You got the over-under in the mid-50s, depending on what you're looking at, but it looks like it's at 53.5. Take the over. And this is a great in-state rivalry. I think this is the equivalent of the Iron Bowl for Florida. But I think just FSU's elite rushing attack gets it done. They usually dominate on the ground. They're explosive on offense overall, highly ranked in total offense. You got home field advantage, and then you're coming off a loss to a team you shouldn't have lost to. I think you're going to see a little bit of the Alabama characteristic coming to FSU here. I think they needed to taste their own blood. I think they're already looking too far ahead, and it got ahead of them, and they lost when they shouldn't have. I think they know that. So to get back on track, I think it's belt to ass. For Miami, for them to at least pull it out, their defense has to remain strong in that rush defense. You got to find a way to get Castellanos uncomfortable out of a rhythm. As soon as he gets in a rhythm, man, he's dangerous. You got to be balanced on both offense and defense. Offense, you have to have a good mix of pass and rush. Carson Beck really has to be on his game here to take this one, especially in Florida State. And then the edge rushers for Miami and their defensive front have to disrupt and create pressure for Castellanos. But in my opinion, I don't really see that happening. FSU's identity in running the ball is second to none. If Miami can really limit that per carry gain in the stats, then you might see a win there. But again, like we've reiterated, that's not going to happen. For both sides. I think you're gonna see some big plays here and there. I really think FSU takes it away with big plays, and then they have the ability to kind of lull you to sleep. They'll do a nice little slant for three, QB run for two. You kind of fall into this rhythm of they're not really being explosive. Bam, play action over the top. See ya. Take the hat off. Start the chop. It's on. So that's who I got in this one. But next, if you had told me last year, even 2 years ago, that this game this weekend that we're about to talk about is going to be the magnitude it is, I'd have laughed in your grill. I'd have said, you dumb as shit, and you don't know nothing about football. But what do I know? Noah, we're talking Alabama, Vanderbilt, 2:30 kickoff in the Bryant-Denny. Who you got in this one?
Fuck. I think Alabama wins it. All right, I don't think it's going to be that close, to be honest. I don't. I just don't. It's in T-Town. We lost to them last year. They were unranked last year when we lost to them, so that really just twisted the knife more. I feel like we still taste that. All right, like I feel like Alabama is still having to hear about that loss to Vanderbilt last year, and I don't think that you beat. I don't think this year you lose to FSU. Games later, beat Georgia, and then you lose to. I don't think you lose to Vanderbilt after all of this, especially not at home. I'm worried about this Alabama run defense versus Vanderbilt, though. Vanderbilt is 18th in the nation in running offense, while we are 89th at rush defense. On the flip side, we have the second highest rated pass defense in the nation. So I feel like regardless of what happens on the ground, through the air we'll be fine. But what I really worry about is those big explosive plays on the ground. So if Vanderbilt was going to make a game out of this, I feel like they do it on the ground. But I don't think that I don't think that Vanderbilt's defense is going to keep up with our offense at home. And I think that we're going to get enough stops on the defensive side of the ball that we're going to win. And it's going to be by at least 10 points.
Zach, to you, my brother.
I think I said it the first or second week of the pod, but I will never choose a Diego Pavia led squad. I cannot stand that dude. I think he's the worst, but he's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
And he's got a good weapon in Eli Stowers, tight end. He's a monster. I think he tore Bama up last season. He might do it again this year, but I think Bama's offense drops 38 points in a couple days. I don't think they allow 38 points, so I think Bama takes it. I don't know if they cover, but I don't think it's particularly close. As long as they can contain Pavia, which the defense has seen Simpson all offseason, similar-ish quarterback, at least like mobility-wise. Hopefully they are able to contain.
All right. Well, fellas, would you agree that Vanderbilt is better than they were last year?
Yeah.
I don't know. Are they?
I think they are.
Is the defense any better?
Yes, their defense is better.
Mm.
At least statistically, but they also play Mickey Mouse schools.
Vanderbilt beat Alabama last year with a worse team than they have this year. Pavia talks crazy on podcasts, but it seems like the boys love playing around him. Did they show the blueprint on how to beat Alabama last year, and has it carried over into this year? Yes, because Florida State did the same thing.
Oh.
But I have a source in the building that said after the Georgia game that they did talk about the win, discussed how great it was for about 15 to 20 minutes, and the vision had already moved towards Vanderbilt. And it's not the, oh, who we resting next week or what can we try out that didn't work against Georgia so we can buff up the think it's different. I think it's real different, especially in Tuscaloosa. And I have a quote. I actually have two of them. This is a quote directly from Saban. More people die on the way down from Mount Everest than on the way down from Everest than they do on the way up. So you can't relax. I think that is a very true statement. With that being said, I think this is different from last year, but in the fact that last year you beat Georgia, same situation, but you came off into a number one seed and you got lax thinking because Vanderbilt lost to Georgia State in week 2 that you're just going to trounce these boys, and boy, were you rudely awakened. Also have another quote, though, and I might get biblical here. This quote reads, "Never take your own revenge, but leave room for the wrath of God." And God wears crimson this weekend. I got Alabama in this one. I think they do let up 30 points, but I think Alabama scores 50 plus, 56 in my eyes. I think this is a revenge game. I think you've had this notched on a schedule because this is for the whole last 365 days. Vanderbilt was a decent team last year, don't get me wrong, but the only win they kept parading around the whole time was the Alabama win. I think just seeing the celebration on repeat, talking about it on repeat, I think you've had this game circled on your calendar since the loss. And I think it's just another just revenge tour you've seen Alabama give teams after a year of which they've lost to. We kind of talked about that rush defense from Alabama being kind of weak. But I think if you can really contain that pass and contain these little RPOs, I think you make Pavia one-dimensional, and if you make him one-dimensional, I think it's just belt the ass all day. But there's really not much to say on this one. I think it's just a real big revenge game. I think Alabama just moved different. I think they've got a taste of their own blood with that FSU loss, and I think everything is built different. But that being said, I think they get it done. And fellas, that was all the games we had.
Pick 4.
Pick 4.
I like it.
Did we all?
Unless you want to pick the Georgia Kentucky game, my boy. In that case, I got Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that sucks.
Did we all pick the same outside of FSU?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, there are precious few good games on the slate this week. Next week, I think, is better.
We got spoiled last weekend.
Yeah.
Great weekend. And I know we didn't really get to talk about the Oregon-Penn State game, but we can kind of discuss it right now. Nothing fails. Penn State can't win a big game against a top 15 ranked opponent. The whiteout is Mickey Mouse if you can't win. Franklin probably needs to get fired, in my opinion, because you can't win no big games. I think you're 4-20 against those teams. Dan Lanning, I think, may be on drugs. I let him piss in a drug test, and I think his piss may melt through the cup. I thought Dante Moore played great. I thought Oregon started slow but really came back. Yeah, it's really about it from that game.
Yeah.
But
yeah, this unfortunately was on at the same time as Bama Georgia, so I did not watch it. I didn't until like the second overtime.
yeah, I saw a stat: 10.4 million people were watching the Alabama Georgia game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of the
Jeez
highest
Louise,
watched games every year.
Yeah. To be honest, you want to watch future NFL talent, that's the game you watch.
Yep.
Those guys have specimens on the field.
Those guys are future
But-
Eagles players.
But anyways, fellas, shorter episode. Of course, we're missing Ramsey, but there's also less games to cover and really not much to talk about. I mean, I felt like the audience for sure was definitely watching most of these games, so they kind of kept up with what was going on. But, fellas, I think that's it for this one. Please, God, Alabama, pull it off, and please let it be belt to ass. That's all I pray for. But, anyways, it's been fun. Zach, please get to feeling better.
See.
Sorry, Zach.
Noah, you just be you, brother.
It's all good. I think the flu shot does it to me every year, so like, it's all good.
I really hope
Well,
Miami
fellas.
wins just so I can have a winning week versus y'all.
They got a good shot. They might.
Do
honestly.
y'all not think that it's kind of reminiscent of the USF game with Byron Brown?
Huh?
Different? No, FSU.
Nah.
You don't
Looked-
think
they-
you don't think
they look way
Castellanos
better, at
plays
least.
similar? You don't think Castellanos plays similar to?
No, I think like Bynum or Byram or whatever his name is, he'll run through a dude's face. Castellanos will run around the guy. So like, I see more Manziel in Castellanos, and I see more Cam Newton in Bynum. Just like running style.
Also, FSU's just a way better ball club than USF.
Yeah, you've been selling them short.
Who? FSU?
No, I think FSU's overrated. I don't think they're that great. That's just me though. Like
Nah,
statistically,
I
they
think-
have a mid defense. Mid.
But yeah, they played mid last week. You can't say they were too mid. I mean, I know they haven't played much of nobody, but they handled Alabama pretty well, even though Alabama probably took that game light and we did make mistakes, but that's besides the point. But I think you held, who did they play 2 weeks ago? Small school, but it's 66-10, and then the week before that it was 77-3.
Yeah, but they don't have they're not. What I looked at is just like the rankings for the different aspects of their defense. It's not well for who you've played. You played East Texas A&M, Kent State. Like, I feel like you should be ranked a little bit better when you're facing these teams. But whatever.
We'll see.
No, I can see that, but I think they dropped a ton. I think they were like 7 or something, right?
Yeah, they were 8.
Who?
Now
Last week?
they're 18.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, fellas.
Tanked a bit.
We'll see you after Wednesday.
See you later, alligator.
But it's been a pleasure, and we'll be back next week.
All right.
All right,
See
I'll
ya.
see y'all.
See y'all, boy.